in child's pose, a little bit like we do with the yoga. So we're going to come around into the child's pose. And we're going to start in child's pose, and that will gradually and sort of hopefully seamlessly bring us up to our feet and to come into some roll downs. So nice and long in your child's pose, and just stretch your body out. A couple of the exercises today have that element of posture. So let's stretch our spine out so we've got lots of space before we approach those postural exercises. And then from your child's pose, when you're ready, all we're going to do is spread out the fingers, take a breath out and come over the top of a cat spine. Take a mini hold there, so you're stretching the back high, belly in. And then just go back, drift back to your child's pose, so easy. So now make it feel like it's one movement. So over the top of your cat spine, as if you could run your spine over the ceiling, and back to your child's pose to create that length in towards your spine. Let's add over the top of our cat spine, and then down into your cow pose. Back to your cat spine, and then back to your child's, and let's see if we can make that feel like it's one movement. So over your cat, into your cow, back to your cat, and back to your child's. Let's make cow pose even bigger. So let's come over our cat and drop into our high cobra. And if that doesn't suit your back early class, just stay with your cow pose and push back to your child's. So notice how the movement's got a little bit more challenging for your spine. That high cat to that high cobra and back to child's. We're going to do one more like that. So last one, best one, over the top of your cat. Just drop to your high cobra. It doesn't matter where it is, just see how it feels. And then tucking your toes under as you sit back this time to your child's. And come back forward to your hands and knees, lifting your knees and seeing how you feel in your first plank. Belly nice and tight. Weight from your hands lifting upwards, so rather weight from your hands pushing down. And then lots of activity going on these legs. And then just walk your hands back to your feet. So you're at the back end of your mat. Bend your knees low, be that ragdoll. And if your wrists are feeling it a little bit, just give them a shake out, your shoulders. If you've got a little bit of something going on still that's bothering you in your mind, just leave it there on your mat, navel to spine, chin to chest, and start to uncurl through each vertebrae of your spine. Think about lifting your rib cage, opening your chest, relaxing your shoulders, and at the top of that lift, let's take a breath in, reach the arms up. And then with resistance, press the arms down, and as your hands brush the side of your legs, chin to chest, let's just roll down again. Loads of knee bend if you need it, no big knee bend if you don't want it. And then as you come up, chin to chest, come all the way up. Just loosen up, mobilising the spine, roll the shoulders again, chest is forward, gaze is forward, inhale the arms up. Fingertips reaching up, exhale that light resistance as you push the arms down. And then let's roll down again, but this time as you roll down, let's walk that out again to our plank. And you can modify plank on your knees, of course you can, but if you can, let's see how you feel in your plank. If life's okay there, we're just going to lift our right foot off the floor and just try and reason the weight through the other three on the mat. Not feet, obviously, hands as well. Place that foot down and then take your left foot off the floor. I don't know why I explained that, because you know you haven't got 3 feet or 4 feet. And then place that foot on the floor and walk your hands back to your feet. I do talk some rubbish sometimes, don't I? Bend the knees, chin to chest, navel to spine, and arm curl. We've been here already. Stacking each bone in your back. Opening your chest, rolling your shoulders back and down. This time as you take your arms up, interlace your fingers, push your palms to the ceiling, and just notice how much more you can stretch up, how much more dynamic that feels. And then release the hands down, so your hands come back down the side of your legs. Chin to chest, and here we go again, we're rolling down. Listen to instruction, bend the knees into your ragdoll. Take your arms behind your back this time, link your hands. You can leave your hands on your back, you can lift them a little bit, or you can take them right away over your head, and you know it's possible to get them all the way onto the mat in front of you. Never happened yet for me, but there you go, just whatever you can do with this. And then just let your hands find your back, and then just drop them down in front of your feet. They feel a little heavier, don't they? Chin to chest, and uncurl. So last time we do these roll-ups, big roll back and down of your shoulders. Take a breath in, just sweep the arms up. Interlace the fingers again, but this time just one time side stretch, whatever way you choose to go to. And then all the way back and up. And one time to the other side. For the first time, feeling how our sides feel. Lifting those palms up and releasing the arms down by your sides. Last roll down for a little while. Chin to chest, navel to spine, bend the knees. And walk out to your plank. Can't promise this is the last plank, but let's imagine it is. So let's make it our best one so far. We're going to take our right foot off the floor. Hold it there as a modification, or bring it to your same elbow and hold it there. If it feels okay at your right elbow, bring it over to your left elbow. And then take it back to your right elbow. And then maybe just bring it centre. Push it back to your plank. That should have woken up your core a little bit. Lift your left foot off the floor. You can stay there if you need to. Or bring it to your left elbow. Take it to your right elbow. Bring it back to your left elbow. Maybe sweep it centre. And push it back to your plank. Holding your plank for 3, 2, on 1, place your knees down, come back to your tabletop and come back to the top of that cat spine before all the trouble started. Sit back to your child's pose, and while you're in your child's pose, just give a little bit of recovery for your shoulders, maybe your wrists, your fingers, whatever they need. And then just come back and sit back on your heels. So, weights are there handy if you want them. To start with, we're not going to use them, but if you are going to be using them, place one each side of you. And then nice couple of shoulder rolls, because your shoulders have already worked. They've done some plank, they've done some core work, so let's get a couple of shoulder rolls going. You can go whatever direction you want. We all know how to roll our shoulders. And then once they feel deep and down, take the arms out wide to the side. And just start with some smaller circles. Nice and easy. Feel like it's all happening from the shoulders, it's not happening from the arms, and it's certainly not happening from our wrists and hands. So one strong movement, not counting, but as you've got these shoulders going, how does it feel that in your posture? Does it feel suddenly that your rib cage has decided to have a little chat with your hips and they're getting a little bit cozy? Or does it feel like you could stay lifted and keep that space between your lower ribs and your hips? Change direction with the arms. Nice and small. Just warming up these shoulders. If I give you a little count now, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then release the arms down. Big roll of the shoulders back and down. Those of you using a weight, you're just going to pick your weights up in your hands, and remember you can put them down if you need to. So like a nice big open V, we're going to take the arms out wide of our shoulder line, higher than our shoulder line. And then we're going to try and nudge the back of our rib cage. So we're going to pull our elbows into the back of our ribs and then push the arms out to that wide V. And that's it. So in on the exhale, out on the inhale. And then feel each time those elbows come in, that distance between your rib cage and your hips isn't being squeezed down. So that's your challenge. These arms are getting a nice workout, your shoulders are getting a nice workout. But what I want you to think about is your posture. And then if you maintain that distance, how they're feeling, then you'll find that your core, that whole bandage of core is working as well. Let's do 2 more. 2 and 1. And then just let your arms relax down. You can hang on to your weights, you can put them down. 1 more on our knees, on our kneeling, and then we're going to come to our hands and knees. All with weights if you want to. Bring the arms out in front of you. Nice roll of your shoulders. Pick up your posture. So easy. We're going to take your right arm straight above your head and push it down. So easy. Left arm straight above your head and push it down. Now try both arms up. Now spread them wide and bring them forward. That's all there is to it. Right arm lifts and lowers. The left arm lifts and lowers. Both arms together, up, wide and forward. Right arm, belly to spine, ribs and hips not getting cozy. Both arms, lift, wide, forward. 2 more, right and press, left and press, double lift, up, out and forward. We can do 1 more, lift and lower, lift, doubles arms, lift, wide, lower and down, big shoulder roll. So hopefully you didn't have heavy weights there, just little light tiddly ones. And we're going to take all that warmth in our shoulders now. Last one with our weights for a little while, and come around onto our knees and hands. You only actually need 1 weight for this. And we're going to start with the weight in our right hand. So the one in your left hand, you can just put it down on the mat. The one in your right hand, you can hold it or you can pick it up in a moment, doesn't matter. Just easy tabletop spine. We're going to take your left leg back, toes tucked under but on the mat, so that leg is on the mat. And then bring your right arm up into a lateral roll. In fact, I'm going to change legs, so I'm just going to mirror you. So my weight arm is the arm that's facing you. So your left leg is back, your weight is in your right hand. You're going to do 1 lateral row by pulling the arm up. You're going to take that arm back alongside the side of your hip. Bring it back into that bent elbow and push it down. Let's do that a little quicker. Lift, extend, bend and lower. Easy as that. I'm not trying to make this exercise weight training, just trying to make it a nice positive move, and this will give you quite a nice feeling in the shoulders but also in your triceps. We're going to stay with the row for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and hold the top of that row, and then those little kickbacks with your weight for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Bend the elbow in, place the weight down and place your hand down, and then pick up your straight leg, your right leg, and then all we're going to do is just to target that glute, our posture, keep your back nice and firm, and tiny little pulses with that leg. Think about how this feels, because we'll come back to this a little later, and we're going to do about 20 of them. Just squeeze in and squeeze in and squeeze in and squeeze in, belly tight. Think about keeping your back firm. The only part of you moving is your right leg for 5, left leg 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and in. Take that cat spine that we started with this morning and just come back to a neutral spine. So let's do it all on the other side. Just do a little change of ends. So you want your weight in your left hand this time. You're going to take your right leg back, toes are on the ground, so it makes it easy for our balance. And then back flat. Imagine you've got something on your back. I said back flat, I didn't say back fat, didn't I? Back flat. Belly nice and tight, back nice and flat. Weight in your left hand. We're going to bend that elbow and lateral row, and we're going to straighten that arm out. In and down. We all know these. So bend, extend, bend. Now what's happening with your belly? Nice and tight away from your top. We've got 1 more of a combination, and then we just row for 5. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2. Hold the top of that row and then kick that arm back for 5 and 4, 3, 2. Hold so you can feel that tricep, bend that elbow in and place that hand down on the mat. No weight needed, so place a hand on the floor without the weight. Lift your right leg, and all it is pulses. Oh, I know this one, I know this feeling. Belly nice and tight, as many as we can fit into me, chatting away. Squeeze your belly in. Think about your posture. I know you're starting to think about your bum. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and set that leg down. Take a little stretch back into child's pose this time, and do what you need to with those wrists and hands. Nice big roll through the shoulders, little mini rest there. And then we're done with the weights for a while, so you can put them out the way so you don't kick them while you're on your mat doing other things. And let's get a little bit more familiar with what we've been doing recently. So, feet at the top of your mat, weight nice and light on your seat, hands underneath the backs of your knees, pull up through your spine. Take a breath in and just throw those arms above your head. They can stay there like two rockets, pointing up at the ceiling. If you prefer to, if it's easier for you, then you just do your interlace and push your palms to the ceiling. Either works. I just want you to feel of that sort of lifting of that rib cage and that sinking down of your seat. Straighten your legs out in front of you and exhale, take a forward fold. Tuck your chin to your chest as if I've got the back of your t-shirt. You're going to roll your way down. If you need your knees bent, bend them in. But we're going to roll our way all the way down onto our back. And once we're down on our back, take a lovely long stretch out through all of your body, fingers, toes, torso, legs and arms. And then just bringing your arms down by your side and bringing your feet underneath your knees. Hands on the front of your pelvis. We do this every time, and just take a little bit of time to mobilise. We've done a lot already. Quite sort of different things already. So let's clear our mind of what we've done. That's all done, that's gone. And just see how it all feels as we move our spine around through imprint and arch. It's like giving ourselves a little bit of elasticity, like we've got some Play-Doh to work with in our back. And then come to the arch of the spine like we do. Slide your fingertips underneath. Press your tuck fingers to touch. And then just let your back lightly land on the top of your fingers and your knuckles there. And like a little tick-tock with your legs. Just take the legs from side to side. I'm just going to take this contraption out of my hair because I'm laying on it and it's really painful. And then just come to a neutral. So pull the hands from under your back, let your natural back fill the space. Let your shoulders relax down by your sides. And we've got a nice, cosy, comfortable lying position. Opposites. So we're going to go with, let's go with our left leg and our right arm. We're just going to slide them out to extension. And maybe just hover in the mat, or maybe they're touching the mat. And then slide them back in. So easy. Do that again on the exhale. Reach them out. And then tuck them in. Now keep that going. Same leg, same arm. But notice what's happening elsewhere. And what's happening elsewhere should be nothing. So your belly should be nice and flat to your spine. And your back should stay in neutral. Bring that arm and leg in. Change sides. So it's just awareness. It's just concentrating on keeping our spine safe and neutral. And coordinating the arm and the leg so they synchronise on your exhale and your inhale. And I don't think anyone will find that that's difficult. So bring that back in. Lift your legs 1, 2 up to tabletop. Hands underneath the backs of the knees. You've got a nice right angle, knees over hips. And let's take our arms straight up above us this time. Shoulders low down on your mat, belly in. Same combination, but we're going to go from height now. So we're going to take left leg, right arm and stretch them down low and pull them back in. So it's a little bit trickier. Keep it going to keep the back nice and neutral and to keep the belly nice and tight. In fact, it's a little bit difficult to keep the back still. And that will come from using a bit of resistance, push-pull. And let's do one more this side. And change side. You should still find this quite an easy exercise though, to keep a nice neutral back. It's just warming us up for what's to come. 2 more like this. Exhale, inhale, last one, exhale, and then just catch the backs of the knees with the hands. Roll the shoulders back and down, belly in, curl your head up off the mat, and then hands coming behind the back of the head, just to keep your chin to your chest, your elbows wide, head coming to the floor. So check your back's neutral, check your belly's into your spine. Take a breath in, gently imprint your back, and then exhale, come up to a crunch, but then come up a little higher. Reach the arms forward of your thighs, bring them back behind your head, go down halfway, and then go down all the way. So we lift 1, 2, and reach. We come back, 2, and 1. Combination, lift, lift, and reach. Hands back, lower, and lower. Again, lift, lift, and reach. Hands back, lower, and lower. We're still going. Lift, lift, and reach. Hands back, down, and down. Oh, how many more? Lift and reach. Keep it going. Hands back, lower. Let's do 2 more. Lift, lift, and reach. Hands back, lower, and lower. This is the last one. Lift. Now reach, hold. Turn your palms to face the ground and start to press the arms up and down. Think of the hundreds. So we're going to keep our shoulders down, our belly tight. Maybe eyes on the prize. Keep your eyes on your belly. Start to move your arms up and down as fast as you can, so that you're challenging the stability of your back on your mat. Make sure that you're winning a battle with your core, not with your arms, and see if you can keep this going. If you're finding this really, really easy, then fasten up the arms, create more resistance. And if you're feeling it was quite tricky, you can either stop or you can slow those arms down. If you want to straighten your legs out, keep it going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the legs, keep it going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it going, straighten the legs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it going, bend the legs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Curl in, hands behind the back of the head. 2 count to lower. 1, 2, and hug the knees. Oh, if you've got a nice warm feeling there, give your knees a little hug, give your back a little massage. And then we're just going to catch hold of our right leg, right hand over the top of our knee, left hand over the top of our shin or the front of our ankle, and your left leg on the ground. How to think then, I'm mirroring you. Big squeeze of your right leg into your chest. Keep your head on the mat, and as you exhale, change legs. Left hand over knee, right hand over shin, and squeeze that leg in. So there's your sequence for the next few. We're just going to leg change and squeeze. Exhale and squeeze. We all know leg changes. We want to create a resistance with the push of the leg that's going away from us, and resistance with the squeeze of the leg that's coming in. You can go faster than me if you wish. You can go slower than me if you wish. But if you're going at my pace, don't forget that lovely deep squeeze of your leg, but also of your belly as that leg comes into you. So we're going to keep these going for a little while. But what I'm going to offer you now is, as they catch that leg that's coming in, curl your head up. Big squeeze in. And with your head lifted and your shoulders relaxed, see if you can speed it up a little bit. So change, and change, and change, and change. Keep it going. Change, and change, and change, and change. Let's count 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and stop. Lower your head down. Now I've got my left leg in, So if you want to do a quick change to your left leg if you've got your right, it will make the instruction a little bit clearer for you. So this time we're going to curl our head up to meet our leg again. We're going to let go of the leg and bring the hands behind the head, and they're just there like a pillow to keep your head rested and your neck nice and long. Take both legs, remember this leg shape, but take both legs straight up. Bend your left leg in again and drop your right leg down again. And then take them both to straight. Change legs, right leg comes in, left drops down and up. Have a couple of practices so you can get the coordination. One leg squeezes in, one leg drops down. If it's bothering you to have your head up, put your head down. If you're losing the synchronization of it, doesn't matter, do what you can with it. We're going to hold this one, push up, and we're going to go faster for 8. 8 and 7 and 6 and 5. Are you feeling it? I am. And 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Both knees into your chest and breathe. Let your arms come out to the side for a moment. Take your legs to one side for a moment and just switch them off also for a moment. Oh, did you hear my tummy? I'm sorry if you did. And come back to centre. It's my belly saying, oh, do some more, do some more. But it's not. And over to the other side, exhale. So we have one more for our deep core. It's our double leg stretch. It has a combination as well. So bringing your knees back into your chest. Big bear hug of your legs, hands over your knees or your shins, I don't mind, but give them a nice big squeeze in. Head can stay on the floor, of course it can, but if you can, curl your head up as well. You're going to take a breath in and squeeze in tighter. And as we exhale, we're going to explode those legs forward and our arms back into our double leg stretch. And then tuck in tight. Let's do that again. So out on the exhale, in on the inhale. Now if you need to modify this, just take your arms and legs higher. And that will make it easier to sustain your back nice and firm. Or take them lower if you feel that's okay for you. For 4 and 3 and 2. Now watch the change. And 1. Now tuck in and then reach up as if you want to give yourself a high five. But we're going to toe tap up 4 times. Lift. 4, 3, 2 and 1. Now tuck in nice and tight from there and do 1 double leg stretch out. Exhale. Tuck it back in. Reach back up. You don't have to look at the toes. They're there. Belly in. Chin in. And tap the 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go a little faster with this last combination then. Exhale. Tuck and stretch and tuck. 4 taps. 4, 3, 2, 1. Tuck in tight. Extend. Tuck tight. 3 taps. 3, 2, 1. Tuck in tight. Exhale and tight. 2 taps. 2, 1. Last one. Tuck in tight. Extend. Tuck tight. Reach up. Tap up. Hold. And then if you're feeling strong, open that out through straight arms and legs. Hold for the 5, the 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're done. Hug your knees in. Place both feet on the floor. Yay! And just have a little tick-tock side to side with those legs. They are done. They're all done. We have one last little exercise on our back. And then we're going to target our legs. We're going to target our glutes. We're going to target our backs. And then that's you complete for another class. If you'd like to, if it's not a chore for you, we're going to grab our weights. You might have to seek them out because I told you to put them out of the way. And we're just going to grab hold of our weights. If you haven't got them, it absolutely doesn't matter. But we're just going to bring them down by our sides again. And you're going to lightly hold them one in each hand. If you've only got one weight, you can just switch hands each time, or you can just leave it. So a gentle imprint of your spine in towards your mat. And then lifting your hips up into whatever variation or height of bridge you would like to take. And then rolling down through each bone in the back as you come down. This is a really nice counter stretch for everything we just did there. Let's go up again. So push the ground away with your feet and squeeze your hips up to the sky. And then roll down through each bone in your back. Now, as a coordination, as you lift your hips up, you're going to take one arm, or the one arm with that weight in your hand, and reach it behind you. And then as you come down through each bone in your back, you lower it down to synchronize. You're going to stay with that arm. So we're going to lift to our bridge, extend through our weighted arm, and lower ourselves down. We're going to do that twice more. So all this weight is doing is challenging the equal push of your hips up to your bridge. It's also giving you some more work for that shoulder and arm. Last one here. And slowly down. It's so easy. There's no sting in the tail. Change sides, other arm. Hips are lifting. You know, if this is too much for you, you just leave your arms down by your sides and you just do as many of these that suits you. If you're working with me, we've got two more. So we push up as we reach back and we lower as we press down. Last one, exhale and inhale. Now, option to leave your arms on the ground or to lift both weights above you. Shoulders stay down, however, and if it's too much holding those weights, you put them down. So this time as we lift our hips up, we're just going to drop our bum down. So it's just a hip lift and a hip drop. All those weights are doing is keeping your shoulders beautiful, strong and toned. Let's go up and down, lift and lower. Let's go faster. 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2. Let's hold there on 1. Squeeze your bum and pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's hold the squeeze, and if you want to, take both arms with or without weights to the mat behind you and then push them away from you. And as you roll your spine down, feel the opposition of your weights pushing back and your spine rolling down. Please leave the weights on the floor behind you and then hug your knees into your chest. Don't come in with those weights. You'll get a nasty shin bruise. Curl your head up to meet your legs and just give your back a little side to side, whatever way you are comfortable to come up to a seated. Take your legs into a nice easy wide V and take a stretch forward, and this is a recovery. I think it's your first feel good recovery for a little while, so enjoy. Feet nice and wide, spine nice and easy, chin to chest, neck nice and long, shoulders nice and relaxed. And we are completely done with those weights now if you've been using them. And then just curve your spine in. If it feels nice for you, just turn to face one leg and just stretch over that leg. A little stretch into your hip and hamstring. And wake up that leg, tell that leg it's going to do a little bit of work. And then come back through centre and take a little stretch over the other leg. Perfect. And then just come back through centre. Just lift and bring the legs back into the middle there. And we're just going to come around onto our, let's come onto our left side. So we're just going to come onto the left side. You can lay completely out on that side. That's why I've got rid of all this lockdown hair that's still there for another few weeks. And let's come around onto our left side. Now, nice and long, nice and slim on your side. You can keep your right hand resting on your mat if that helps you for balance, or you can bring your hand onto the top of your thigh if you want to challenge your balance. But I want you to find the slimmest part of your body this morning and then really lengthen it. So that distance one more time between your lowest rib and the top of your hip and pelvis at maximum space. Take a breath in and just sweep your right hand over to your left. So your body resembles this super long pencil. And you're just going to stretch your body out. Remember that feeling. Bring your hand back down to your thigh. And then just let your hand rest on your mat again. You can either just pop up onto your hands, or you can come up onto your elbow, whatever you feel, whatever helps you to see the screen as well, I should imagine. Bend your underneath leg. And with this top leg, we're just going to start to lift and lower. So if you sort of think about the weight of the hand weights you've just been using, I want you to imagine that wrapped around your ankle is a similar weight, so that the resistance that you would have to find to lift and lower that leg. And then if you have a look at the leg, it's not really lifting much out of your hip line. There's no challenge of range of movement. The only challenge is just battling this feeling that's going to start to be created in the side of your hip and leg, and that's a good thing. That's what we want. Let's do 8 of these. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now bend that leg in so it resembles the underneath leg, but just obviously above, slightly above hip height. And then push the leg slightly back so it's sort of not level, it's behind that left thigh. Extend it and bend it. That's all we're going to do. But that leg is going to stay slightly off alignment of your left grounded leg. Out and in. Out. How's it feeling? Can you feel that in the hip? And in. Out and in. For 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Now leave it bent this time, and then we're going to dip the knee in front of the other thigh. But then as we push it behind the thigh, go back to that straight leg. So as it comes bent, it comes down. As it goes back, it goes straight. Again, think about the coordination. It's the same movement, we just bent to straight, but we're giving it a little job to do. It's going down and back, and down and back, for 5 and back, for 4 and back, for 3. So much to think about. And 1. Hold it there, bend it in, and just pulse it back. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it back and straighten it, and tap it down behind that back heel. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Bend it in and place it down. Roll onto your belly, whatever you need, but whatever feels really nice, or what feels really nice, is to bend the legs in and just sort of swish them from side to side like this. And if you choose to, you know, you could just stay doing this because you've got to do it all again on the other leg. Nice and easy, nice and loose. Suddenly all that feeling comes back again. Stretch your legs out behind you. Place your hands by the side of your waist and take a lovely sit back into child's pose. Nice and long. Remember when we first started, we were here. Seems hours ago, doesn't it? Just give yourself an easy breath or two here. And then when you're ready, we're up neatly up the other end of our mat. We can swing around onto our right side. Lay out nice and long. So let's do all the nice bits first. Get on the slimmest part of your body. Make your body as long as possible. Let your hand rest on your left thigh, or if you struggle with that, just let your hand rest on the mat in front of you. And your head and your neck are also getting a little bit of a recovery as well. So if you can, if possible, left hand on your thigh, take a breath in, reach that left hand over to your right hand. And then how much distance can you stretch between your toes and your fingertips? And that will really ignite your core for you. And then lower that hand down, just place it on the mat in front. You're either going to pop up onto your hand or you're going to come up onto your elbow, whatever you're comfortable with. Underneath leg bends only, top leg stays straight, that imaginary weight around your ankle. And we're just going to start to lift and lower. It's a repetitive move of this exercise because it's a super safe exercise. No challenge to our range of movement. The challenge is the amount we do. So all we do is fatiguing. And we're fatiguing this area to a point where it starts to feel a little bit burny and a little bit uncomfortable. But keep the movement strong and steady. And you will really benefit from this. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So hold the leg up at that height, bend the knee, but then push it back so it's behind you, and then just straighten and bend. The whole time that you're bending and straightening that leg, it stays behind the line of your right thigh. How are you feeling on this right elbow? Because I'm sitting here thinking, I'm lounging. I'm feeling a little lethargic. So try, if you're like me, approaching the end of the class, try not to be a little bit sort of lethargic on that elbow and thigh. We do, don't we? We just think, oh, thank goodness, I'll just rest on this elbow. Okay, hold that leg bent, bring it in front, behind, and straight. So same move, in to straight, in to straight. We just exaggerated and moved it. Keep it going. I know it's feeling. Mine is feeling too. And back for 5 and 4 and 3. Dip it down and back and 1. And then keep it bent and just pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it back, straighten it, and then lower lift. So it's really getting here now, isn't it? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend it in and rest it down. Oh, thank goodness. Roll onto your belly. Exactly the same as you just did. Bend your knees and just do that little swishy side to side with your legs. And then what also feels really nice is just straighten them out on the mat behind and just give them a little, your hips a little wiggle like you were trying to shake something off your back as well. Amazing. So arms coming into your Sphinx arms, shape of a goalpost, head in line with your spine. Take a breath in and just come up onto your forearms and your elbows. Stay on them. So you're super low in your Sphinx pose. And while you've got your arms on the floor, just take a little look over one shoulder. And come back to centre. And then take a little look over the other shoulder. And come back to centre. Lower yourself down through your chest, chin, nose and forehead. And if that felt quite nice, move your hands in a little bit and come up onto your hands this time into your Cobra. You can stay in your Sphinx, shoulders back and down. Take a little look over one shoulder and come back to centre and take a little look over the other shoulder. Then come back to centre, roll back down through your chest, your chin, nose and forehead. And as you inhale, just come up as a cobra. And let your shoulders roll down your back. Lower yourself down and then lift your hands clear of your mat and take them back around towards your thighs. Chin to chest, you can rest your forehead on the floor or you can leave it just slightly off the floor. And then if we can, we're going to lift our legs, locust pose. But what I'm going to ask you to do is bend your right knee, try and kick your own bottom and stretch it out. And the whole time, these thighs, if possible, left leg, are not touching the mat. And if they have to, it's fine. They only need to be, keep going with those leg changes, they only need to be enough that you could slide a piece of paper between your mat and your thigh. Keep them going. It's really good for your glutes and your quads. One more each side. And then we're going to go double. So we're going to kick, hold and straighten. Still hovering. Kick, hold and then lower. Lower your legs, lower your chin and reach back and see if you can find the fronts of your ankles. If you're going for feet, be cautious. And if you can't find either, you can always grab the backs of your leggings or you can just carry on doing what we did. So head stays in line, chin to chest. Take a breath in and as you lift your chest this time, see if you can push your thighs off the mat again and use your feet pushing into your hands, bow pose and lower. And again, it's not about how high. So as you breathe in, we're going to push, flex our feet and try and push the ceiling up if that's possible. And gently press down. And we're going to do 5 more of these. So inhale to your bow pose. Exhale to your mat. Inhale to your bow. Exhale. See if 3, you can lift a little higher. Inhale. And lower. No holds, no pulses, just 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, best one. Breathe in. Now as you lower, can you just hover still those thighs? Let your feet go and swing your arms forward with your thighs still off the mat. Say hello to your glutes. Up and down with those arms, Pilates swing. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and rest. Oh my word, how are we doing? So just bring your hands in near your rib cage, sit back into your child's pose. Let your head bow. Let your arms be lazy alongside you. And then just bring in your, let's go left hand a little bit further forward than your right. So you can thread your right through the space between your left arm and knee. Maybe get your head to the mat. And see if you can wiggle that right shoulder under a little bit more. And maybe you can stretch your left arm out a little bit more. So you feel the skin on the outside of the shoulder stretching. Bring that arm back, let that right arm become a little bit lazy. And then stretch your left arm through the space between your right arm and knee. Your head on the mat, get your hips pressed to the mat. Reach nice and long through the side. And then release that side as well. Just walk both arms around to the left side. So you're moving all the way around. Maybe your hands are coming off your mat. You should feel that stretch running along the right side of your body. And then just sort of just pitter-patter your hands around to the left side or to the other side. You should feel the left side of your body. Bring your arms back to center. If you stretch your body out, you should feel your entire body. Come up onto your knees and hands, round into your cat spine. Let your head hang heavy and maybe just take A little stretch through the head and neck like a figure eight. And then inhale, drop into your cow pose. How does that feel now at the end as opposed to the beginning of class? Exhale, round. Duck under your toes, find downward facing dog. Have a pedal out. You've done a lot of hips, you've done a lot of legs, you've done a lot of everything really. And then as you pedal out your legs, you're just going to gradually just stroll your hands back to your feet. Be that ragdoll at the back of the mat, and then the other little movements that you need. Tuck your chin to your chest, your navel to your spine, and just start to uncurl your body from your feet on the ground, all the way up through your chest, rolling your shoulders back and down, taking a breath in at the top, doesn't matter if you're not there yet. And exhale, relaxing the arms down by the sides. And big roll of the shoulders, and we're done.